Paying 1099 contractors the right way is one of the most important parts of running an LLC. If you do it incorrectly, you risk penalties, IRS misclassification, and even back taxes. So today, I'm going to walk you step by step through how to pay 1099 contractors as an LLC owner, how to issue 1099 forms properly, and the mistakes new business owners need to avoid to stay compliant. Quick note before we begin, if you use my recommended tools, including Bizee for LLC formation, I may earn a small referral fee at no extra cost to you. That support helps me keep producing educational videos like this. I'm Erin from LLC Deals. Let's get into it. What paying a 1099 contractor actually means. Before we get into the steps, it's important to understand the relationship you're entering into. Most new LLC owners confuse contractors with employees, and that mistake can create IRS penalties, payroll problems, and even back taxes. Here's the truth: you are not hiring employees, you are hiring independent contractors, and legally, that relationship has strict boundaries. What makes someone a contractor? A contractor is someone your business pays to complete a service, but they operate independently. They are not under your direct control the way an employee would be. A contractor performs a specific service, not general labor, controls how and when they work, uses their own tools, equipment, and workspace, has the ability to take on other clients, is responsible for their own taxes and insurance. This independence is what separates a contractor from an employee in the eyes of the IRS. What you do not control. When you hire a contractor, you cannot dictate their work hours, train them like an employee, require them to use your equipment, set long-term recurring duties with no contract, supervise them like staff. Doing any of those things crosses into employee misclassification, which can lead to penalties, owed payroll taxes, backdated Social Security and Medicare contributions, and legal disputes. This is why maintaining clear boundaries protects both your LLC and the contractor. What you are responsible for. As a business owner hiring contractors, you must pay them for services rendered, collect a completed W-9 before payment, report payments totaling $600 or more using Form 1099 NEC, maintain payment records for tax purposes, keep contracts and work agreements for documentation. Your LLC becomes the legal and financial entity issuing these forms, not you personally. Why this matters: the IRS treats contractor payments as reportable transactions, meaning the government uses your 1099 forms to verify that contractors are reporting income accurately. If you fail to issue a required 1099 NEC, the IRS assumes either you're hiding expenses or the contractor is underreporting income. Both scenarios can trigger audits. The legal impact. The moment you hire contractors, your LLC is responsible for compliance, documentation, deadlines, and record keeping. This also creates a clean separation between your business income and personal income, your liability and the contractor's liability, your tax obligations and theirs. This is why paying contractors isn't just about sending money, it's about setting up a legally compliant system from day one. So step one, make sure your LLC is structured properly. Before you ever pay a contractor, your LLC must be set up correctly because the IRS requires clean documentation tied to a legitimate business entity. This includes filed articles of organization, a designated registered agent, an EIN tied to your LLC, an operating agreement. If you want the most affordable and straightforward way to form your LLC, Bizee allows you to form an LLC for free plus state fees. This is ideal for business owners who want to start hiring contractors without spending hundreds on formation. I'll leave my Bizee LLC formation link down below so you can check current prices and packages. If you prefer a guided, beginner-friendly formation process with compliance reminders, ZenBusiness is a great option. I'll also link ZenBusiness below if you want a more step-by-step setup with built-in reminders. And if privacy matters to you, especially because your business information appears on every W-9 and tax form, Northwest Registered Agent is the best choice. They mask your personal address and manage all legal mail securely. This foundation matters because your contractors will receive documents issued under your LLC, not your personal identity. If that's important to you, I'll leave my Northwest Registered Agent link down below so you can see how their privacy setup works. Step 2, collect a W-9 from every contractor before paying them. Never pay a contractor unless you have a completed W-9 on file. This is the single most important step before issuing any payments. A W-9 provides the exact information the IRS requires for you to legally report what you paid the contractor, including their legal name, business name if using an LLC or corporation, tax classification, either a sole proprietor, LLC, S Corp, etc., address, EIN or SSN. This information flows directly onto the 1099 NEC you issue at your end. If a contractor refuses to provide a W-9, you cannot hire them. You cannot legally create a 1099 without this information, and the IRS holds the payer, your LLC, responsible, not the contractor. Why your own EIN setup matters here. When you file 1099s, your LLC's legal name, business structure, EIN, address must match the IRS database exactly. If your EIN was created incorrectly, such as before your LLC was formed, or under the wrong entity type, the IRS will reject your 1099 filing for an entity mismatch. This is where Northwest's EIN filing service is valuable. They ensure your EIN is correctly attached to your legal entity, preventing the IRS mismatch errors that cause rejections or delays during 1099 season. If you'd rather have that handled for you, I'll leave my Northwest EIN filing link down below. Step 3, set up a business bank account to pay contractors. All contractor payments must come from your LLC's business bank account, not your personal account. Your LLC must maintain its own checking account, its own financial records, complete separation between business and personal activity. This is essential for liability protection. Mixing personal and business funds, commingling weakens your legal separation and can allow courts to pierce the corporate veil during lawsuits. Tax separation. Paying contractors from your personal bank account blurs tax records and leads to inaccurate 1099 totals. Audit defense. The IRS expects a clear trace of all contractor payments. Your business bank account provides that verification. Once your account is open, you can pay contractors through direct deposit, ACH transfers, payment processors like PayPal, Stripe, Square, accounting software like QuickBooks, Wave, FreshBooks. What matters is that all payments go through the LLC, so the paper trail is clean and defensible. Step 4, use contracts to define the working relationship. Every contractor relationship must be documented in writing. This protects you legally and helps you avoid IRS worker misclassification penalties. Your contractor agreement should clearly outline scope of work, deadlines and deliverables, payment terms like confidentiality, ownership of work product, independent contractor status, termination rules. A written contract proves the individual is a contractor and not an employee. Without one, the IRS or state agencies can argue that you treated them like an employee and assess back payroll taxes, penalties, and interest. LegalZoom's contractor agreement templates help ensure your documents use legally accepted language, match standard hiring guidelines, include the correct contractor classifications, hold up during audit review. For an LLC issuing 1099s, this is a critical layer of protection. Step 5, pay contractors through a trackable, documented system. Once you start paying 1099 contractors, the IRS expects every payment to be traceable, verifiable, and supported by documentation. It does not matter which platform you use. What matters is that you can prove who you paid, when you paid them, why you paid them, and how much you paid them. This is what protects your LLC during audits and allows you to issue accurate 1099 NEC forms at year-end. The IRS requires a clear audit trail. A clean audit trail includes a contractor invoice, a documented payment method, a matching bank record, a record of the service performed. This is why paying contractors casually through personal accounts or Venmo is one of the biggest mistakes new LLC owners make. The IRS cannot verify the legitimacy of the expense. Recommended payment systems and why they matter. Using professional payment systems creates automatic documentation for every transaction. These platforms help you stay organized all year, not just at tax time. Common payment systems include QuickBooks, which provides invoicing, bill pay, contractor management, and automatic 1099 filing. Wave Accounting. It's a free option that tracks expenses and creates payment logs for contractors. FreshBooks, ideal for service-based businesses sending recurring contractor payments. PayPal or PayPal Business automatically records every payout with unique transaction IDs. Wise for international contractors offers clean documentation for cross-border payments, especially for IRS reporting. Stripe Payouts, great for businesses that automate contractor payments through online platforms. What these systems provide automatically: payment logs, transaction IDs, matching invoices, year-end summaries, built-in reports, exportable records for tax filing, documentation that aligns with IRS expectations. This level of record keeping is important because the IRS compares your 1099 totals with your bookkeeping, your business bank account transactions, any contractor claims. If the numbers do not match, the IRS flags the return, sometimes for both parties. If you pay contractors manually, you must create your own audit trail. At minimum, record payment date, amount paid, contractor name or business name, description of services, invoice number, method of payment, confirmation or receipt. This protects you if the contractor disputes the payment, the IRS questions your deductions, you need to reconcile payments at year-end, your accountant prepares your 1099s. Manual payments aren't wrong, they just require more discipline to keep clean. Why this step matters more than most people realize. Many IRS audits begin with contractor payments because 1, contractors often underreport their income. Number 2, LLC owners often misreport payments. Number 3, bookkeeping errors are extremely common. Number 4, missing documentation signals potential misclassification. A clean, documented payment system shows the IRS that you treat your contractors correctly, your LLC maintains real business records, your deductions are legitimate, your 1099 forms are accurate. This reduces audit risk significantly. Step 6, track payments throughout the year. The IRS expects year-round record keeping, not a scramble in January. You must track every payment made to every contractor, especially once they approach the $600 threshold. ZenBusiness and similar compliance tools help by sending tax-related reminders, keeping documents organized, tracking important deadlines, storing W-9s and contracts, helping separate income and expenses. Most 1099 errors happen because business owners didn't track payments monthly. Consistent tracking prevents mistakes, mismatches, and missed forms. Step 7, issue Form 1099 NEC at the end of the year. Once you paid any contractor $600 or more in a calendar year, the IRS requires your LLC to issue a Form 1099 NEC. This is not optional, it is a mandatory federal reporting requirement. Who must receive a 1099 NEC? You must send it to the contractor so they can report the income, the IRS to match your records with theirs, your state, if your state requires separate reporting, the IRS uses your 1099 NEC submission to verify that contractors are reporting their income honestly. If you fail to issue a 1099, the IRS assumes non-compliance and penalties begin automatically. How to file your 1099 NEC. You can file electronically using tools such as QuickBooks, Tax Act, Tax Bandits, IRS Fire System for manual e-filing, other IRS-approved e-file providers. E-filing is strongly recommended because it reduces errors, it prevents mismatched information, it speeds up IRS processing, it ensures your forms are time-stamped and compliant. What information goes on the 1099 NEC? Everything comes directly from the contractor's W-9. Legal name or business name, address, tax classification, SSN or EIN. Your job is to report total paid to that contractor during the calendar year. Any withheld taxes, almost always zero for contractors. If the totals or contractor info are wrong, the IRS will reject the filing. The number one reason 1099 NEC filings get rejected: mismatched IRS records. Your EIN, legal business name, business address, entity type must match exactly what the IRS has in its database. If the IRS sees an EIN issued under the wrong business name, a formation done incorrectly, an EIN created before your LLC legally existed, an address updated with the state but not updated with the IRS, a missing or inconsistent operating agreement, it automatically flags your 1099 filings. And here's where most new business owners get tripped up. They apply for an EIN on their own, make one tiny mistake, and don't realize anything's wrong until January, when every 1099 they try to file gets rejected. This is where Northwest's EIN service makes the biggest difference because it prevents all of these mismatch errors before they ever reach the IRS. Northwest EIN. When you use Northwest to file your EIN, the entire process is designed to make sure your EIN exactly matches your LLC's legal formation, so the IRS never rejects your 1099 filings later. Here's how the process works. First, you select your entity type and state. Northwest begins by confirming your LLC's exact legal structure and the state where it was formed. This matters because an EIN issued under the wrong entity type is the number one cause of IRS mismatches. Second, you enter your legal business name exactly as it appears in your articles of organization. Northwest compares the name you enter against your state formation documents. This prevents issues like missing commas, different abbreviations, incorrect capitalization, outdated names. Even a single character off can trigger a 1099 rejection. Northwest removes that risk completely. Third, you provide the responsible party information. This is the individual the IRS associates with the LLC. Northwest makes sure this info matches the structure of your formation documents, which is what the IRS uses to confirm your identity. Fourth, Northwest sets up your secure dashboard. This becomes your permanent storage for your EIN confirmation letter, your IRS correspondence, the documents tied to your EIN record. When tax season arrives, everything is in one place, not scattered across emails or paper files. Fifth, Northwest submits your EIN application directly to the IRS. Once submitted, the EIN is issued correctly, it's attached to the correct business entity, the confirmation letter is uploaded into your dashboard, the IRS now recognizes your LLC under the correct legal identity, and this is the key part. When your EIN matches your articles of organization exactly, your 1099 filings won't get rejected for mismatched business identity. And this walkthrough matters because the IRS validates your 1099 NEC against the EIN record first, and if that record is wrong, the IRS rejects everything automatically. A rejected 1099 isn't just annoying, it can trigger late filing penalties, penalties per contractor, IRS notices, potential audit flags, corrections you have to refile. This is why the EIN step is so critical and why Northwest's EIN service is one of the easiest ways to avoid IRS mismatches months later. Penalties for doing this incorrectly. Mistakes in contractor compliance can become expensive fast. The IRS penalties include fees for every late or missing 1099, additional penalties for incorrect information, higher penalties if filings are more than 30 days late, worker misclassification investigations, potential payroll tax assessments, possible state penalties. The IRS also compares your 1099 totals with contractor tax returns. If something doesn't match, both parties may be flagged for review. Hiring contractors is easy. Paying them legally requires structure, documentation, and clean IRS compliance. Paying 1099 contractors as an LLC owner becomes simple when you follow a clean system. Form your LLC correctly, collect W-9s, use an EIN that matches IRS records, open a business bank account, use contracts, track payments, issue 1099s at year end. If you want the cheapest way to form an LLC, Bizee offers formation for free plus state fees. If you want guided formation and compliance tools, ZenBusiness is a strong option. If privacy and long-term documentation matter to you, Northwest Registered Agent is the best choice. And if you want legally compliant templates and operating documents, LegalZoom has them ready to use. Some of these resources mentioned may be affiliate links at no extra cost to you, and your support allows me to keep making educational guides like this. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what topics you want next. I'm Erin from LLC Deals, and I'll see you guys in the next one.